Hi everybody and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really fun Richelieu bracelet, and this was designed by Looms on Instagram, and I will bring up her profile here in just a second. But first I wanted to show you this bracelet because it's really nice, and this is the side that you loop. However, if you prefer this side, you can also do this. This is the side that you place. Personally, I like that these slip knot-ish bands here are, I guess they create another chain. So anyway, before I get going anymore, I would like to bring up Tiger Looms' profile on Instagram. So here she is, Tiger Looms. I will have her name in the description box below. Make sure to check her out, give her a follow for me. Her account is pretty nice. She comes up with a lot of original designs, and her edits are really clear, and they don't obscure the picture or anything. So her account is really nice. You can see she has a lot of really nice posts. So again, make sure to go check her out. I will have her in the description box below. And I'm going to show you how to make this today. What you're going to need is 5 bar pins aligned like this, or all in a straight line. You're going to need a hook, a C-clip, and 5 colors of bands. I will go ahead and tell you what colors I use as I go along with the placement. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to be doing is placing these outside border bands. Here I used the Jolly Green. Today I am using, I think it's Ocean Blue and Hot Pink Pearl. It's a dual layer band. So anyway, to start, you're going to be starting on that center peg, and you're going to go out to the side. And then you're going to go out to this side, just out to the left, out to the right. And then again, extend that one more to the next outside peg there. And then what you're going to do is create a single chain on both sides, going down until you reach the very last peg on your loom. Obviously, if you do want a full wrap, you will need 10 bar pins. I'm only using 5 today so that it can save a bit of time. But it's just the same thing if you're using 10 bar pins. So go ahead and continue doing this all the way down the loom. I may be a little bit slower because I am using dual layer bands, and I like to keep them nice and straight as I go along, just because it makes for a lot easier bracelet when you take it off and it's not as twisted. Once you get up to that last peg, go ahead and just go into the center twice on both sides. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure you go from the outside to the inside first. Then once you've done that, go ahead and make sure that your loom looks like this and head back to the beginning of your loom. Now what we're going to be doing is placing these glitter gold bands in this bracelet. Today I am using the Simplicity Black. I haven't used it yet, so I'm not sure how it's going to look. But let's go ahead and do this. So, starting on the second peg up, because we already have a border band here, we're going to just place a band straight across, horizontally like so, on both sides, and then you're going to go up to the next peg and do the same thing. And you're just going to do this all the way down until you reach the end of your loom. So I'm going to continue doing this. These black Simplicity bands are actually really thick. So I guess I'll have to see how this turns out. But just go ahead and do this up the left and the right side. I already finished my right side, so it's a really quick step here. Once you've done that, you may want to push down these bands a little bit so that you have more room. Also, if you use limited edition bands for this part, it looks really nice. So anyway, once you've done that, go ahead and come back to the beginning of your loom. And now what we're going to do is place our next color. I'm using Caribbean green for this, and in this bracelet it is the neon green. It's kind of hard to see the difference between the neon green and the yellow, but the neon green is on top. So I'm going to go ahead and place that. We're going to place it in a simple diamond shape all the way down until we reach the end of our loom. So starting on that first center peg, you're going to go up and out to the left. And same on the right, up and out to the right. Then you're going to just go up and into the center here, and up and into the center here. So you have your diamond. Then just continue from the top of that diamond and go back out. And then back in, back out, and then back in. It depends on how you want to place your diamond, but make sure that you do finish one whole diamond before you start doing another one. So go ahead and do this all the way down till you reach the end of your loom. I'm going to go do the same thing. Oops. So once you've done that, it should look like this out here at the end of your loom. And once you've finished that, go ahead and come back to the beginning of your loom. And also push those bands out of the way there. And now what we're going to do is placing the yellow bands in this bracelet. And today I'm going to be using teal for this. So the yellow bands are underneath of these neon green in here. I'm using teal today. I really hope it makes the Caribbean green bands pop. So we're going to be placing kind of an opposite zigzag here. So starting on this outer pin, you're going to go up into the inside. Then this outer pin, up to the inside. Sorry, my nose is runny. Go back to the outside, and then outside here. So you're either creating X's or you're just starting at the top of that next diamond. So you're just going to do the same thing that you did with the Caribbean green. You're going to do this all the way down until you reach the end of your loom. Remember, don't start another diamond until you finish the one that you are currently placing. And then once you do that, we're going to come back and place another layer of bands. Then when you end, you will end with the bottom part of your diamond going to the outside, and then we'll end up here at this last peg. Once you finish that, go ahead and put those bands aside, come back to the beginning of your loom. Now what we're going to do is place our last layer of bands in this bracelet. It is the cocoa. So it's underneath of these glitter gold bands, and it's a little bit hard to see on the back side. So once you are ready to do that, go ahead and get your color. I'm using metallic silver for this. And come back to the beginning of your loom. And what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of trace this teal layer. So starting on this very outside peg, I'm going to go up into the inside, just like this teal band here, just moved one over. Then you're going to go back to the outside, again like this teal band, just one over. And then you're just going to do kind of a zigzag all the way down till you reach the end of your loom. That band is actually a little bit thin. Don't want it to break when I'm looping. So just do kind of a zigzag all the way down until you reach the end of your loom. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, and then I'll come back and show you how to loop the rest of this. Also, when you're doing the right side, just make sure that you mirror the same thing that you did on the left. And then once you get to the end of your loom, you should end with your zigzag bands going out and ending at these corner pegs here. So once you've done that, go ahead and turn your loom around so that the arrows are pointing towards you. And now what we're going to do is grab 3 of our border band color. I'm using this pearl color here. What we're going to do is place 3 cap bands. So take your first band, regular cap it on your hook. You're going to place it on this outside peg here. And then hold on to that band because we're going to drag it across. So the cap band is across these 2 pegs here. Going to do the same thing on the other side. Take a cap band and pull it across these 2 pegs here. Then take your last band and you're just going to put a simple single cap band on the center here. So once you've done that, we can go ahead and start the looping process. So first thing we're going to be looping are the bands we just placed, which are these metallic silver bands. Sorry, grabbing the wrong band. Metallic silver band. So just go underneath of your cap band and grab that metallic silver band. Again, it should be on the outside. You're going to pull it up and into itself. Try not to get it twisted because these bands are the hardest to untwist once you take the bracelet off the loom. Then what you're going to do is just go inside of here where that other metallic silver band is. Grab that top band and pull it to itself. Then from the outside, try to turn this here, grab that top metallic silver band and pull it into itself. And then just grab this silver band and pull it out. And just go ahead and pull the top band out to itself all the way down. It should just be your metallic silver band. And make sure that you do that all the way down until you reach the end of your loom. And also make sure that you do the same thing on the other side, or on the right side for me. And if a band pops off, make sure that you do put it back on, because it's important when we loop that the bands don't get all pulled apart and then it becomes really loose. So once you have done that and the end of your loom looks like this, your silver band should end out at the edge. Go ahead and push those down so that we have room to loop our next bands and come back to the beginning of your loom. Our next bands are going to be the teal bands that we placed. And what we're going to do is we're going to just simply grab that bottom, or the top band and pull it to itself. So go underneath of that cap band, grab the left teal band, pull it up into the center like this. Then go to the other side, grab this, pull up into the center. So it should look like this now. Then all you have to do is go inside of those bands and grab that teal band and pull it out to itself. And this teal band and pull it out to itself. And then you're going to continue looping like this all the way down the loom. So again, grab this teal band and pull it into itself. This teal band here, pull it into itself, and then just pull this out. So like I said before, go ahead and do this all the way down until you reach the end of your loom. I'm going to do the same thing, and then I'll show you what to loop next. And once you do that, your teal band should end up here at the top. So once you've done that, go ahead and come back to the beginning of your loom. Now what we're going to do is loop out the teal, or not the teal, sorry, the Caribbean green bands, which are your other diamond shapes. So what you have to do is just go inside of this cap band here. It's your simple cap band. Push back both of those loops and grab that top Caribbean green band. I push my camera. Pull it out to itself. Then what you're going to do is go back inside and grab the other one and pull that out to itself. Then going inside of this peg here, and you're going to grab the other Caribbean green band that's on the top and pull it into the center. And this Caribbean green band, pull it into the center. Then just like we did with the teal, pull it back to itself and back to itself. So you're going to go ahead and do this all the way down until you reach the end of your loom. I'm going to do the same thing, and then I'll show you how to loop your next bands, which are kind of confusing, so don't leave. And your last band should end up in that very center peg. Once you finish that, go ahead and push down these bands that are on the sides here and come back to the beginning of your loom. Once you've done that, now what we're going to do is loop these black simplicity bands, and it can get a little bit confusing, so make sure that you do pay attention. First thing we're going to do is go inside of this peg and just grab that black band and pull it out. Whoa. Oh my gosh. So my camera's falling. Let me just fix that. Okay. Okay, fixed it. It would have been really bad if it had fallen. Anyway, continue looping out these black simplicity bands just straight over to themselves all the way down until you reach the end of your loom. And make sure that you do this on both sides. So this part here is pretty simple, but there's another part to looping this. So I actually need to move my camera forward again. There we go. And then I'll move it forward again once I get to the very end. So once you loop that out, go ahead and just come back to the beginning of your loom. You don't really need to push down the bands. And what we're going to do is turn our loom to the side so we can see all of these layers of black bands here. What we're going to do is grab this bottom one and just simply pull it up and over and release. But then when we get to this peg, you see we have our metallic silver bands here, so that's why it kind of gets confusing. Again, just keep grabbing that bottom black band, pull it up, over, and release. So then here, pull that and up and over the bottom one. And just keep doing this all the way down until you reach the end of your loom. I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to try to keep this up here, one so that I can see it, and two, so that you can follow along if you need to. Once you've looped all those black bands over, just go to the other side and do the same thing. My camera is being really weird. It's like super saturating the picture, I guess. Once you've pulled all of that over, go ahead and push down these bands, because we will need a little bit of room to loop our next layer, which is our border. What we're going to do is make sure to push down these cap bands as well. You're going to go underneath of the cap band, and you're just going to pull that bottom band out to itself. And this loop came off my cap band. Pull that bottom band out to itself, and then grab this very bottom band here and pull it to itself. Same on this peg. Pull that straight horizontally out to itself. Then pull this bottom band just to itself all the way down until you reach the end of your loom. Then when I loop a couple of stitches, I just like to take off these bottom 5, or the bands off of these bottom 5 pegs, so that the cap bands don't get so stressed out. Now I'm going to loop the rest of my border, and then I will show you how to finish it off. I have a feeling my bands are going to be really twisted, especially these black Simplicity ones. So I just looped mine up to the top there. Go ahead and push that out. And I'm going to go ahead and do this side as well. Once you get to the top, you're just going to pull that outside band into itself, and then that outside band into the very center. Same on this side, pull it to the inside and to the very inside. Then I like to take these 2 pegs off, so it makes it easier to take my bands off. I'm going to grab one last band, which will be my extension collar band. I'm using the same as my border color. I'm going to stick my hook down through, grab that band on my hook, doesn't seem to be wanting to go onto my hook, pull it through, put both ends on my hook, and then I'm going to pull this off. When you pull this off, I would recommend carefully pulling off the borders, because you don't want the slip knot bands to get too pulled. Oops, sorry. You don't want them to get too pulled, because then they'll become a little bit loose, and it's a bit harder to undo that than it is to just simply carefully pull these off. So once you finish, go ahead and give your bracelet a little stretch, and this will be the signature side of the bracelet. It doesn't show up very well on camera, but this is the back side, so that's what it looks like. And obviously I have to do a lot of straightening and fixing of my bands, but that's all I'm going to have for you guys in this video. So thank you for watching, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I will have Tiger Loom's name in the description box below. Make sure to check her out on Instagram and give her a follow for me. That's all I'm going to have for you guys today, and I hope to see you next time.